I just can't believe how much of a crazy small world property investment is. So I worked with Glenn. Glenn found a deal. Many of his deals went well. One of his deals didn't go well. Because of that, Andrea put Glenn in touch with Lee. Lee then was introduced to Chris, the landlord. Lee then got lots of deals from Chris and is making good money. I've now been introduced to Lee from Andrea, my student. Lee's kindly showing me around his houses and different things. I'm learning loads. It's just such a small world. I can't believe this. So this is a lease option agreement?
Yeah.
I can kill this dude right here. Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I'm standing outside this beautiful detached house in Blackpool. This is in the nice part of Blackpool though, right?
It is.
So we've got like £700,000 houses around here.
We certainly have, and Stanley Park directly opposite.
Stanley Park directly opposite. So this house, Lee bought this house on a lease option agreement. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So how much money did you need to put down in total in terms of legal fees, refurb, to secure this house?
£4,000.
£4,000. You have the option to buy it, not the obligation.
Yeah.
For how much?
For 210.
In how many years?
7.
So in 7 years' time, Lee has the option to buy this property for £210,000. How much is it worth right now?
Between 240 and 280.
240 right now. And is it making you cash flow each month?
It is.
How much?
It's taking cash flow. It's taking 3,300 pence and it's making me £1,000 to 1,200.
So he's renting this out for 3,300, making a clean profit of 1,000 to 1,200 a month. Can we go and have a look around?
Absolutely.
Let's do it. I love this. It's got such a good feel about it.
Yeah, it's very homely.
It is. Okay, so is anyone living here at the moment?
Yeah, I've got 6 nurses.
Right.
4 nurses, 2 doctors.
Ooh, you know you're winning when you've got doctors and nurses.
Yes. The 2 are very, they're not from the same league at all.
Right.
You tend to find that to get them to mix, you normally find it's an emergency team that are together, that live and work together. So when you've got the doctors, you tend to find it's emergency doctor on, emergency doctor off, and you tend to find that the 2 swap between themselves. When they find a team that works together
it's great.
at the hospital, it's really, really hard to come by.
My goodness.
That's stunning.
This is
Absolutely
fabulous.
stunning. Yeah, and again, we're just starting to catch up on the rubbish.
So is this one of the properties that you manage?
This is a buy to rent. A rent to buy.
Oh, like a lease option?
Lease option, yeah.
Yes. That's so cool.
It's good.
That's so cool. So you're a property investor, you do lease option rent to buys, have a property management company, all in Blackpool.
And a development company,
And a development company.
Yeah.
Great. Oh man, this is fabulous. I can see why you wanted to buy this place long term.
Long term.
So what's the
7-year agreement?
What's it worth now?
About 320.
Oh my goodness. I need to talk to you about how to get these deals in Blackpool, Lee.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. Your background is interesting because you own some Harvester restaurants?
So I was a general manager for Harvester restaurants for Mitchell and Butlers. I had 3 on the Fylde Coast, which was a vocation really. And after quite a messy divorce, I decided to the 3 properties that I did have. I decided to liquidate those and put everything into one property.
Yeah.
That I then fell on through my father. They had, or the family business was KFC's. So a contact via the London office gave me a number to a guy that was looking to invest in property, a gentleman from Dubai, and I sold out to the Arabs. I bought for 400, sold for 1.2 mil.
Very good.
With the tenants in, doing what I was doing. Originally it was going to be the family home, and obviously I didn't need a 7-bedroom mansion, so what I decided to do was to sell and separate that asset and actually turn it into a business.
You've done really well for yourself.
Yeah, good.
Really well for yourself. And this property, honestly, is just amazing.
So this is a granite. These are granite. This is one of the nurses. So she's got her own ensuite and a walk-in wardrobe as well.
Very nice. And how much does this rent out for then?
This one rents out for 550 per calendar month.
Amazing that you can get that kind of rent in Blackpool.
Again, it is a professional. In terms of the service then we do change the bedding. The bedding is laundered, so there is that slightly higher.
Yeah, you've gone for the boutique kind of luxury.
Yes, and to be fair with the nurses, what they want after a 14, 18-hour day sometimes is to come back to a clean bed, a house that's warm, a house that's clean.
Yeah, but that makes
what
sense.
We're paying for.
It makes sense. What you've done so well is
you've brought the hospitality industry into the property industry.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you differentiate yourself. That's your USP.
It definitely.
Because when there's a lot of supply and a lot of demand, it's about saying, okay, well, how can my supply be different? Because there is a lot of demand in Blackpool.
There is a lot of demand, but you've got to be very unique in what you do. And if you want the tourist, you can get that. If you want that, Blackpool is very dynamic, and obviously through COVID, what we've done with the AS is turn those into short-term lets, and then turn them back into as COVID is released. So the deals and things that we've got aren't I'm actually delivering on my contract as well. So things like service accommodation has gone to residential.
I think is though, I know you're really smart, but I'm just going to ask you a question about that. We're in Blackpool. We really struggled to find a hotel last night. It was full. You know that because you had to help find us a hotel.
I did,
So it was just full. So you say I'm turning all the essays back to residential, but why when SA's doing so well?
Because
I stayed in SA.
There was so much uncertainty, and my contracts that were in place, or the people that we do business with, was to be a man of my word, deliver on what we said we would deliver.
So you thought when Corona was happening, lockdown was happening, you thought, oh, this is sketchy, switch it to AST.
Nobody really knew what was going to happen and how it was going to turn out. So we played the safe game.
How did you find Richard? Because I know he's a real rock in the business.
He
Talk
is,
to me about how that comes out.
Richard had nightclubs. So we were aware of each other and aware of each other's.
I come from hospitality, where Lee came from the daytime. I came from the late night.
Yeah, okay.
So, and we know a lot of the same people as well.
What's the difference, Richard? When you talk, what's the switch between talking to an investor who owns the property potentially, who's a multi-millionaire, and a tenant? Because I know you're not a respecter of persons. Everyone's equal, but what's the trick and what's the difference when speaking to?
When you're speaking to the owner of the building, it's the way I do it is although I'm neutral and sat on the middle, when I speak to either side, I come across as if I'm on their side. So I've always got their best interest. So if it's a problem tenant, I can level with them and say, look, I can put like, why don't we try this? Why don't we try that? And it's about conflict resolution more than anything. And it's being on the side of both parties, but staying neutral at the same time.
Brilliant.
To achieve a common goal, which is the best for our clients. Yeah,
you're like a mediator.
Yeah.
Which is an issue, because a multi-millionaire landlord probably can't understand a tenant who's paying 500 quid. They're in a different world completely, and the tenant can't understand the landlord. They just think, oh, why can't you just pay for this and pay for that and let me have this for free sometimes?
Yeah.
And then the landlord's like, just give my rent and shut up. Being that middle person.
Actually being that mediator,
I think that's why a lot of property investors, the biggest problem, and this is why I'm so grateful for you, Lee, the biggest problem that I see amongst property investors is poor management of the properties. That's the biggest problem. You have a landlord who just thinks, I don't even need management, or I'll just pay for the cheapest. And they just see it purely, but actually if you've got a cheap management company that's not doing a good job and not putting their all into it, you're gonna have absolute nightmare. And from the landlord's perspective, because you charge 15%?
Yeah, we
charge 15%. Is that including VAT or plus VAT?
That's plus VAT.
Okay. So 15 plus VAT, which some investors would balk at. They'd say that's too expensive.
Well, that's fine. At the end of the day, we deliver a good product. We get a result. Our tenants are consistent. And we deliver. We work for the client. at the end of the day.
Lee, I wouldn't say it was too expensive. I'm just saying a lot would. And a lot of people that would say it's expensive are people that have been in the game 6 months.
Yeah.
You've been in the game 6 years, and you know the difference between someone like your company who's gonna find good tenants, vet them, manage them, liaise, mediate, get the rent, collect the rent. If the rent's late, chase the rent, send it on time, do a nice statement, not rip the investor off and put in. I'm sure you have maintenance people around.
Yes.
People around. Doing that and doing that to a quality with your heart in it. I'd pay 15% plus VAT.
Absolutely. And
every day
for our clients, like a good friend of mine, Andrea, we actually manage one of her properties, and she's completely hands off. Her was to be financial freedom, and what she wanted to do was
one of my students, right?
Yes, she is, yeah. So what she wanted was the financial freedom to spend more time with her family, quality time with her family, so that her investments are working for her. Yeah. So that's her personal dream or focus or goal, and that's what we deliver for Andrea. So she is completely hands off.
And Andrea,
I think she's actually visited the property 3 times since the purchase.
Well, Andrea introduced me to you, and she sang your praises so much, and I know you've done a lot of work generally in the area, but she was like, you need to meet this guy, he's really helped me out, and she found you by following my system which is buy low, rent high with a property manager nearby.
Yes.
That's my philosophy. Yeah. And she found you, so
absolutely, and it's that local understanding as well of the area.
Buy where you know, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the thing is, you can buy in Blackpool, and Blackpool's one of those sketchy areas, in my opinion, where if you don't know the area, like for instance, normally the closer you are to the centre, the better. So, I'm really close, look, the tower's there, whereas in Blackpool, the closer you are to the centre, the worse.
The worst.
Which is weird. It's backwards.
It is very backwards in Blackpool.
Everything's very backwards.
Blackpool's a very unique place where the top of the road can be completely different to the bottom of the road.
Yes. So you need to either know the area yourself, or you need to be able to bounce property deals off people. Say something about Blackpool. I came to Blackpool when I was 17 years old, 12 years ago. Yeah. Came to Blackpool, didn't know the area from Adam. Came because I didn't have any money and I wanted to do some no money down deals, some lease option agreements. Nice. I wanted to do some buy refinance same day. This was when Mortgage Express were a thing. And I came to Blackpool, I didn't know anything, and I was just going into estate agents, talking, asking questions, getting to know the area. And this guy called Michael Stone, blonde hair, took me in his fancy car, took me around for about 3 hours, did a little map, showed me all the streets and everything. I've never met Michael Stone since, but even though I was just a kid and I didn't have any money or anything, I'm still so grateful, and I've not ever been able to find this guy since. So if Michael Stone, if you're watching this, buddy, Michael Stone, I appreciate you. I'm now a multi-millionaire in property, and thanks for believing in me when I was a kid. But like, I think sometimes just giving that value and just kind of giving people that a bit of love, a bit of care. A lot of agents don't do that. They're just like, no, we don't do that.
No, and at the back of me, I've also got my mentor that I would run things through if things didn't feel like I needed them or I wasn't quite of an understanding, then I would contact my mentor, who's got the best part of 150 properties in Blackpool and been doing it 30 odd years. If there's not a problem that she's not been through, and if I can't absorb her knowledge, take it on board and react to it, it's all right her telling me, but if or informing me of a story or going through what mentoring is, and then reacting to that, then it's like pissing in the wind, basically.
I don't believe anyone is self-made. I think that if you see people that are succeeding in property or multi-millionaires, whatever, they're only there because of people that have helped them get them there.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you credit your mentor, because I mean, for me, I just credited Michael Stone.
Yeah,
he's not my mentor, but he's better. And then I've got all these people along the way that have trained me, helped me, believed in me, and I think that's, for me, I think that's vitally important.
Yeah, very, very much so.
Hello! What a cutie!
You're going for your haircut, aren't you? Going to a poodle parlour.
Whose dog is it?
It's mine.
Oh.
Lee, I loved that last house. I'm so grateful that you took me around.
It's a beautiful property, and again, potentially in the future, it's one of those properties that I could flip back for personal use if I needed.
How many properties do you own around here, though, in total?
I've got, I have 5 in total. I've got a cottage in Cumbria, one on which was just renovated and sold.
Okay.
On Hornby, rent to buy.
Yeah, he loves these rent. He calls them rent to buys. I call them lease option agreements.
Lease option agreements. The rent.
Yeah, mine's the posh way for saying it.
Yeah.
In Blackpool, you just say exactly what it is. It's rent to buy.
It's rent to buy.
So this is property number 2. We're here.
Yes, it is.
Oh wow.
Sorry.
My goodness. So Lee bought this little penthouse. Oh my goodness. You can see everything of Blackpool.
Yeah.
You can see what a complete and utter lovely place it is.
Well, it will.
It will be.
On complete, yeah.
So no.
We've got big plans.
So listen, they're spending £43 billion. That's the plan in this area. So right now, this penthouse or this whole block is like really modern looking outside. It's new, but then the roads around it look a bit.
Yes.
I put it this way. I'm worrying about my car right now.
No, you don't need to.
Do I not?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Good people, right?
Great.
They do seem like good people. But if they're developing the area, that's the thing. If you buy in an area that's already, the whole area is really pristine, there's going to be no capital appreciation.
No.
Whereas if you buy an area where they're planning to develop it, right now properties in Blackpool are very cheap.
Yes.
So you're wanting good cash flow and good capital appreciation. Love it. Show me around.
Okay, so outside, the plan, I've got planning from the management company.
Whoa, you can actually get on the roof. Oh, come on, this is too much.
Yeah, well,
This
we're not
is-
finished here, so the plan is for a roof
Hot
garden.
tub, hot tub.
Spiral.
What do you mean?
Spiral staircase
Okay.
up onto the top and have a complete roof garden, like garden roof terrace.
Oh! Dude, you're killing me. How much did you pay for this?
100,000.
Oh, you didn't. 100,000. And what are you paying on? You can literally see the Pepsi Max.
Yeah. And on a great day, where you can see, so we can't go on too close to the edge, peep in. But these scooters.
Look at this. We can see the sea. Honestly, man, I am so glad that I came to. I almost didn't come here. I was like, let's skip the penthouse. Now I'm thinking, I want to stay at the penthouse.
Yeah.
On 100 grand. What? How much are you spending on it to refurb it?
I'll probably spend, when I finish, I'll probably spend about, well, to put these gates in, which are obviously a specialised situation, they need to be secured in, and then, you know, so it's a whole lot of, but I'm probably looking about 40 grand.
How much do you reckon it'd be worth once you're done?
I'm hoping the best part of 250,000.
$250,000, but I mean, to be honest, and it's this place, even if it's not worth $250,000, it'll be worth a lot more than that in a few years.
To me, this is not up for sale.
This ain't for sale.
I will never get rid of this.
I wouldn't sell this place. I can't believe this! This is like a dream for me. Lovely.
I was like, this is a rent to buy with Chris.
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
So
Just wants rid of everything.
hang on a minute. This is the same Chris that I know.
Yeah.
This is the same Chris, the Glenn.
Yeah.
I wish I'd got in first, bro. I wish I'd. So this is a lease option agreement.
Yeah.
I could kill this dude right here. So Chris, the same dude that I know from the Financial Freedom Challenge,
Yeah.
you've secured this on a rent to own lease option.
For 3 years, this one.
How much cash flow is this going to make you each month?
433.
Yeah.
550.
433.
Yeah.
Are you renting it room by room?
Yeah.
Plus 550. Yeah.
Plus 550.
Yeah. Oh, another 550.
Yeah.
Oh wow, another 550. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when this one's done,
Yeah.
another 550.
Okay, plus 550. 2,000, just over. 2,083. By the way, you're not like pie in the sky with your figures.
No.
Conservative. You
Yeah.
know Blackpool market better than just about anyone. You manage, that's what you do. You're a property manager.
Yeah.
Okay? 2,000 you're going to rent this place out for.
Yeah.
What are you paying Chris each month?
I paid Chris 800.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Is that just rent or is that partly to buy it?
that the whole amount that I pay him is to come off the price of the property in 3 years' time.
Okay. So basically you're paying him nothing. So that 2,000 is yours.
Yeah.
Because you're just using it to buy it.
And then the profit in that is obviously going to reduce it down to a price. So between Albion and here, the two have cost me nothing.
And what's the option? You have the option to buy it in 3 years for how much?
For 100,000.
Oh man, honestly, I'm feeling sick. Because when did you agree to Chris?
Pre-COVID.
About 6 months ago?
In fact, it will be 6 months.
I was with Chris just over a year ago.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
What was he thinking?
Well, what was he thinking? What do you mean, what was he thinking?
What was he thinking to give me for 100 grand? Steal.
Well, why did he give it you for 100 grand?
To be fair, he's looking at retiring and he just wants to go and enjoy his life.
Lee, you're breaking my heart though.
Yeah.
Because this deal, the thing is with this deal, I'm glad it's in your hands.
Yeah.
But I'd rather it in my hands. So I think you know about the property. You know what road was it on? The one that
Westmoreland?
Yes.
Westmoreland.
Now that property, I found, well, Glenn found that, who's one of my students, managed it, didn't work out.
Yeah.
Am I right in thinking that you've now bagged that as well?
Potentially.
You're managing it?
I'm currently managing it, yeah.
How's that going?
Great. Absolutely.
How is that going great?
It's full and it's taking him just shy of £2,500 a month.
It's making him £2,500?
Yeah.
But how is that so? Because I heard that the house was a complete and utter disaster.
It was, and what I did was take it on board, turned it around, exited Glenn from the contract.
No, I think Glenn walked away from it.
Yeah.
Glenn was like, it sucks. By the way, Glenn is a smart guy. He's a great guy. What happened with that? Why was it?
I think it was a choice of, I think it was tenant, clientele.
So he had bad tenants?
Yeah.
Is it fully tenanted
Not
now?
well managed.
Okay, is it fully tenanted now?
Yeah, fully tenanted.
Do you have the keys?
I do.
Can we go look at it?
Of course you can.
Of course, we won't go inside the rooms. We'll go in the communal areas.
Yeah.
I want to see this. This is, you know what? I'm having my world blown apart right now. Come on, man. Let's go look at this house. So when did you first meet Chris?
I was introduced to Chris when we found out Glenn had released the property. And it was going on. We was actually trying to source a deal for a gentleman over in the.
If it wasn't for Glenn and that whole deal, would you have met Chris?
No.
So if it wasn't for Glenn, you wouldn't have this penthouse?
No.
So we have to thank Glenn.
Absolutely.
Everything happens for a reason. I want to go and see this house, man. Let's go and look at this. Here we are. Not been here in a year, just over a year.
Okay.
Oh, this is crazy. A trip down memory lane. I never thought I'd see this house again. Until literally today.
Yeah. So this property, well, we've got four nurses.
Okay.
Again, quite small, but we've got enough fridge space now, whereas there wasn't previous to.
This right here, this was where we signed the lease option agreement.
Wow. Yeah.
Right here, over a year ago now.
Right.
So anyway, so you've got four nurses.
So I've got four nurses in the HMO side of the property, and in the flat below, we've got a long term let that's rented to a couple that's about to retire. So
And how much are they paying?
they pay $650 a month.
And when they retire, are they going to stay here or?
Yeah, the plan is to sell their property, stay here. They want to be closer to family, and pass that on to the current residency onto the children, so they can enjoy.
So this whole property, how much the nurses paying for each room?
They're paying $450 per month
Per room.
per room. Yeah.
So that's 450, 900, 1800.
Yeah.
Plus
650.
650. So that's 2,450.
Yeah.
And it's all full, and they're good tenants.
Yeah.
Jeez. Now I know we can't in this property. I know we can't see much of it because it's all tenanted.
Tenanted.
Is this the only communal space?
No, not at all. No. So we've got a lounge. So what we've done is put TVs into the rooms. We've just taken it to that next level, really.
So Because I'm sure that Glenn was thinking about trying to rent this out as a bedroom or something. I don't know.
Potentially this could come as a bedroom, but that was, I think, was at a point that we're struggling quite a bit. And actually, if you keep your standards and you keep your thinking and keep your finances there and don't overcrowd, yes, legally you can rent the room. So there was no problem there with taking that extra money. And some people was, but actually, if you keep that quality in there and somewhere they've got somewhere to sort of.
Because am I right in thinking if the rooms, I don't know if it's the same in Blackpool, but if they're all 100 square feet, then you don't need a communal area.
No.
And these rooms are all 100 square feet.
Yes, they are.
They're big rooms.
Yeah, they are big rooms. So putting 4 people together is a bit like putting a team of people together.
Yeah.
So if you understand people better, I think, in a much deeper sense. So what are their personalities? So a little secret that we used corporately when I was working for Harvesters was to put teams of people together, was to allocate them sort of a personality colour that gives you like a personality test.
Yeah.
It gives you what type of person they are, what their interests
Hang on a minute, Lee.
So
hang on a minute,
what you do is actually put the colours of people together.
Listen, talk to me about this, because this is crazy now. Are you telling me that if you have a tenant, you'll literally kind of profile them to see if they fit with the other tenants?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
How can you do that without discriminating? How can you say you're a little bit of a loudmouth? I don't think you'd fit in very well with it. How can you?
What he'll do is he'll say, "Come and look at the property."
Yeah.
See what you think of the property. Then what he'll do is he'll play it clever and say, "Why don't you come for tea and meet the other tenants?"
Ah. Okay.
Come on down. This is how you're going to be living. If you're going to be living with another person, it's how people live with each other.
Yeah.
And to understand people.
So if you're not sure about someone, you'll say to them, "Hey, great, you're interested. Why don't you come on down? Have dinner, have some tea, as you say in Blackpool.
Yeah.
Have some tea with the other guys, and then we'll take it from there."
Yeah.
And then if they don't come, or if they come and it's really awkward, they won't want to move in.
No,
That's genius. That's a great nugget.
And actually, what that does? Yes, it was longer. Yes, it was a little bit more costly.
Do you think the thing is with a lot of investors, and I can relate to this as an investor, because here's the thing, Lee. As an investor, you want money, right?
Yes.
You want money. So it's easy when you've got HMO property to be like, right, let's fill the rooms real fast. Bang, 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 bang. And because I'm sure that Glenn filled this property, the whole thing, within 72 hours.
Yeah.
So from literally getting the keys, he filled it within 72 hours. And at the time, I was like, concerned. I remember being like, concerned. I was like, that doesn't sound... How have you vetted them? But a lot of people were saying, that's amazing, you filled it real fast. But what you're saying is the opposite. Actually, hang in there and just get the right tenants, paying the right rents, and then you're going to have a much easier ride for the coming few years.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So I would never put, on that basis, I would never, once I understand their personality, and I've done that personality test on them without sort of, because I'm good with people, that's what I was employed to do, was put teams of people together to work towards a common goal in achieving bottom line profit for a corporate company. Yeah. That it's nothing.
What do you think? What do you think of landlords that will just whack in a student, then put in a professional, a nurse, then put someone in benefits?
It just does not work.
It's terrible.
The question I would ask to your question of you want money now,
you've set yourself up for £6,000.
What would you rather? Would you rather wait a month and have money consistently for the next 3-4 years, or would you have money from day one, then there's a month missing because you've had to
But Richard, that's the golden question. But it's about discipline. But this is the same thing. I was chatting with a builder yesterday, and I was saying to the builder, would you rather me give you 100 grand now, or would you rather me give you £1,000 a month forever? And he said, £1,000 a month forever. But a lot of builders would be like, I'll take 100 grand. Yeah. And a lot of investors, I want it fast, I want it. And it's that poor mentality. It's the same kind of as lottery winners. Want quick money, lots of money.
No such thing as a quick fix.
No. It's about thinking, actually, how can I systemize this and how can I set this up for passive income? That's financial freedom. Not fast, quick money tomorrow. Financial freedom is systems.
And financial freedom you build up to.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight.
Yeah. So how did Chris feel when he was happy with the original setup that myself and Glenn agreed with him? Yeah. Which I think from memory, I have to check, but I think it was $7 or $7.50 a month he was getting. It wasn't more than that. He was happy. But now you're managing it for him. Yeah. And he's making the full over £2,000 a month. Yeah. Is he really happy? Was he disappointed when we pulled the plug on the deal? Where's Chris at?
Chris is at a place where he's very happy.
Yeah.
I
bet he is.
Yeah, he's absolutely over the moon. His property's cared for. It's got great tenants in, and once again, it's hands-free.
But the thing is as well, is why would Chris have not in the first place just gone, oh, can you manage my property? What do you think that people that pass their houses over on rent-to-rents and lease options, are those sellers vulnerable, dim-witted, or what? What's happening there? Because you've got lease option agreements yourself.
Yeah, I've got lease option agreements myself. I don't think it's unethical. I think it's great business. And I think some investors or people selling these lease option agreements, it's a better situation for them.
You know what I think? I think the real key to all of this is having good management in place. I think it is, because the reason that someone would say, have my house, just give me $750 a month. I know you'll probably rent it for £3,000 a month. I don't care. Just give me $750. Is because they can't be bothered with the management, with dealing with agents, with messing around. They just want their guaranteed peace of mind. And if they're at a stage of life whereby they don't need the hassle, right? Then it makes sense for them.
Yeah.
They'll happily. I've got properties where I've passed them on rent-to-rents to people. I know they're making £500 a month plus on my houses. Guess how I feel? I don't care, because I don't have a single phone call to deal with. So it just depends where you're at on a season of life.
Yeah.
This property didn't work out, but what I find strange and interesting is this very same property. Do you know what? For me, it's almost put me off a little bit doing, like, I know you've not even seen it, but doing a challenge with someone for a week, because it's like, even if we get the property, and even if the property is a good property, it's not enough to just find the property.
No, it's not. You've got to have that mindset in place. You've got to want to achieve it, and if your heart's not in it, then it's like pissing in the wind, isn't it, really?
You've got to have the motivation to continue the...
Yeah.
It's almost a bit like, you know when you see...
It's ongoing, and it never ever leaves. And until you should never be satisfied until that property's full. And even when it's full, it still needs to be cared for.
Yeah, it is an ongoing thing, and it can be passive.
It can be.
It can be passive.
But I don't want financial freedom. I'm running the business for my clients that want financial freedom.
But for the investor, it can be passive, but they've still got to put the time in to work and finding that right management company.
Absolutely.
And for me as well, and listen, I'm friends with Glenn. Yeah. I'm still friends with Glenn, and I think he's a great guy, and he's a good entrepreneur, and he did remarkably well. But I think, do you know when you see kids and they maybe inherit, and Glenn didn't inherit this, Glenn found this property himself, and I helped him and trained him, but he found this, and he did well. So I don't want to undermine what Glenn did, but do you know when, like, kids maybe inherit a business, but they don't have all what it takes to continue managing the business, and they'll mess it up.
Yeah,
and I think it's
quite easy.
So I probably trained Glenn in that week how to find the property, how to package yourself the deals, but probably what I didn't spend enough time on is how to manage it. And I probably, in hindsight, should have spent more time, maybe not done it in a week, maybe done it in 2 weeks, spent the second week finding the management companies and all that. That's my lesson.
To be able to manage them
I think so.
Successfully.
I think so. And I think what Glenn did was a success. This property didn't work out.
Yeah.
A lot of his other properties did. He's living now in a lease option agreement.
He is.
Do you know that?
Yeah, and that's through a friend, Andrea, that touched base with him.
So he's doing well.
I was sort of in the background, and he actually informed her that he was moving properties.
Yeah.
He was moving home.
So he's doing well. He's a great guy. But it's just interesting to see how the same property can be bad for one person, good for another person.
Yeah.
It shows that it's about the person and the after skills rather than just the property itself.
Yes.
We're not in a bricks and mortar business, we're in a people business.
Yes, absolutely.
I just can't believe how much of a crazy small world property investment is. So I worked with Glenn. Glenn found a deal. Many of his deals went well. One of his deals didn't go well. Because of that, Andrea put Glenn in touch with Lee. Lee then was introduced to Chris, the landlord. Lee then got lots of deals from Chris and is making good money. I've now been introduced to Lee from Andrea, my student. Lee's kindly shown me around his houses and different things. I'm learning loads. It's just such a small world. Be kind to people, because you never know when you meet someone, when they're going to be your landlord, or they're going to be your investor, or they're going to be your fund. Like, my goodness. Lee, I love you, bro. thank you so much for showing me around your houses. Check this dude out. Check him out. He's a fantastic man and a great property knowledgeable management company. I'm going to leave your details in the description. What's it been like spending the last day or so with me?
Busy.
Yeah. And Andrea's now showed up as well. We know Andrea.
Busy.
We know Andrea. Financially free, in property as well, building a portfolio. So honestly, guys, I'm going to head back down to London now. But what a whirlwind, what an adventure. Great. Guys, if you want to be part of the fun, you want to be part of the action, of course, the first thing you need to do is smash the like button, then you need to subscribe, then you need to go and watch a load of more videos. I'm going to leave Andrea's Winners on a Wednesday video right here, but just get in the family, get in the network, build your education.
Absolutely.
See you next time.
Take care.
See you later.
See you soon.